Hey there everybody, it's Lynnea. Oh my goodness, I hope that this works. My usual filming device, it would not let me go live on here, so I'm using my phone. And so I hope that you don't hear a whole bunch of notifications and things. And I hope that things work out well for us as we go through this video, because I have never once filmed on my phone. I always use my iPad. So hopefully you guys can all hear me and see me, and hopefully, oh goodness, hopefully everything's okay. So I have a whole bunch of things here. Well, just a couple items really, I suppose. We're going to be creating this card today. But I did want to show you that there are other variations to use the products that I'm going to be using in today's live. So I used the Trinity Stamps Lemon and Leaves layering stencil. This is a large 6x9 slimline layering set, but we're going to make a 4x9 or a regular A2 card, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card. But using some different colors, I totally mixed it up, and I did this one as a sample too. So while we're going to be recreating a more traditional lemon kind of palette, keep in mind that you can always switch things up and go with some different colors here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move some of these supplies off to the side. As always, I do have this video set up on my laptop right next to me. So if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. And I know that Jenny is out there dropping links in the comments to the products that I'm going to be using in today's video. So I have just a regular piece of white cardstock here. And I'm going to pull out just the 3 stencils that I'm going to be using. There are 2 sets of leaves in the Lemons and Leaves layering stencil, because you can create a background that just has twigs and leaves. You don't have to use the lemons. I happen to love lemons. I think lemons are really happy and just a fun fruit. So I'm going to use the lemons. And there are also, I have in here a separate little kind of pocket of the negative pieces. You can use those for masking. I'm not going to do any masking today. I'm just going to go ahead and do some straight stenciling. So first I'm going to position, I like to start with the twigs. I just find that the easiest, but you can use whichever one you feel most comfortable starting with. I want kind of to go like this, because the lemons are going to be hanging. They kind of hang down off, so I want to make sure that I get this lined up right. I had them all lined up. Well, we'll kind of go along. I'm gonna go here, I think. I'm gonna grab my masking tape, and because I'm going edge to edge on my card, I'm going to tape from the back. So I'll flip this over, just kind of get this aligned where I want it to go, and then put that masking tape right on the back. I'm using some brown distress ink. You can use whatever ink you have in your stash. I'm using Vintage Photo, and I have my blending buddy here. And so I'm just going to ink up and just start blending some ink over those twigs. Really easy. I'm not doing anything fancy here with my blending. You can, of course, go a little bit crazier and have some dimension by adding different colors of ink, but I'm just going to do some straightforward ink blending over each of these little twig pieces. I think that's my last one. I think I got them all. And then I'm just going to grab a cloth and just wipe that away. I will go back and clean these, but you guys don't really want to sit here and watch me clean my stencils. So for now, I'm just going to do a quick wipe. I'll put the cap back onto my blending buddy. So now I have the little twigs. Next up, I'm going to grab my leaves and just line these up. The tape is going to get in the way just a little bit here. There are etch marks on here so that you can see, I don't know if you can really see on the camera how things line up. So I'm going to make sure. It is so dark and gloomy outside, I might have to bump my lights up just a little bit more to be able to really see how this goes. I had this set up, and then with all my camera malfunctions, I feel like, excuse me, like I'm malfunctioning today. I hope that, well, not that I hope that, but I hope you guys can understand how everybody kind of feels like they malfunction some days. That's absolutely me right now. I like to take my stencils and see how you can line this up. So here's how I stenciled my leaves, or my branches, and you might be able to see a little bit better because that ink is kind of picking up some of those outlined areas. So this is how the leaves are going to go. They're going to line right up just like this. So I know that I need to line up my leaf panels something like this, and I try to make it so that they don't overlap, and I look for key, like the big leaves are kind of my guide points. So I know this big leaf here has that etched mark right here coming off of this branch to the left, so I'm going to line that one up there. And then once I get that pretty decently placed, I'll press that down into my tape and just smooth that out. Now I'm going to go with kind of a different color combination. On my sample card here, I did a blue-green leaf, and I'm going to go kind of a little bit even more wonky, and I'm going to go with some Peacock Feathers Distress Oxide ink, just to show you that leaves don't always have to be green. I love having a nice blue leaf sometimes, especially with lemons. Blue and yellow is one of my favorite color combinations. I think that the colors together just really blend, and they just look like they go well together. So I'm just again going to blend right over the leaves using another blending buddy that I have reserved for my blue inks. And you're going to be able to see, hopefully, as I blend, those marks for lining up the lemons are going to show up a little bit too. Alrighty, I think we have that pretty good. Let me find the lid to that. I love the lids on the blending buddies because I have a bad habit of setting my brushes down and then like setting my hand on top of my brush or something, and that's never good. Okay, so now we can see where the lemons are supposed to line up. So it's going to go just like this. And you can see some of the leaves are peeking through. So this is where, if you wanted to use those masking pieces, you would have put the masking pieces for the lemons down and then stenciled your leaves. I'm not too concerned about it because I'm going to be doing some Glitz Glitter Gel, and that's going to cover up most of the leaves. Not all, but most, because I'm using a more translucent Glitz Glitter Gel today. I'm going to peel this off and replace this tape just because I really want to be sure that this stencil sticks down really well so that none of my Glitz Glitter Gel seeps underneath. In this card, even with the Glitz Glitter Gel, it's going to need like maybe 15-20 minutes to dry, but it's going to come together really quickly and really easily. The only prep work that I did for today's card was to get my my supplies out and ready for you guys to be here. So these lemons kind of go right in here. I'm going to line them up. They want to look like they're hanging off the branches. And like I said, some of the little leaves and things are going to poke through. That's okay. You can absolutely mask them off if you want to. I'm going to press that down, and then I thought for a fun little touch I'm going to use some neon Glitz Glitter Gel. I do need a palette knife just to stir this up. I like to stir any kind of medium before I use them, so I'm going to give that a little stir. And then just scoop some out and put some onto here, and then I'll grab my wider stencil pal and spread that out. Now this is a more translucent, so a more see-through glitz glitter gels. Some of the glitz glitter gels are very opaque, but this yellow, because it's yellow and it's neon, is a little bit more see-through. So I'm going to put on a thicker coating than I normally would, just to make sure that it's really able to be seen. I'm going to make sure I get up into all my corners. And you can see I'm not really scraping the excess off. We will do that in just a minute. For now, I'm just spreading that over the open layers of the lemon and leaf stencil. And then I'll put the extra back in the jar. I'm going to peel off the stencil very slowly and carefully. Oh my goodness, I love it. I'm going to put my stencil down because there's a whole, you can see all the glitz glitter gel left on here. I will save that. Definitely don't waste that. I'm going to peel my tape off. Put that in the garbage can so that I don't get messy. But check this out. I absolutely love the look of those kind of blue-green leaves in the background with the leaves stencil from the Lemons and Leaves stencil set, and then having those bright yellow lemons. But I think that this would be equally fun to use like maybe a gold color, or even go way out there and go blue lemons or like pink lemons. I think that would be really, really fun. But there's the background. I hope you can kind of see it glittering and glimmering as I turn this in the light. Like I said, it just started downpouring right as I came live, so hopefully you're kind of able to pick up a little bit of that glitteriness. Now I am going to, like I said, I'll save this glitz glitter gel. Do this with any of your products, any of your gels, any of your mediums. Definitely don't waste them because you can absolutely reuse this. So I'm going to scrape this off the stencil and put that back into the jar. Oopsie. Like I said, I'm kind of disastrous today. Scrape that right back into the jar. And then here's another tip for you. When you have any kind of stenciling gel, wipe the rim, and that's going to help you get a better seal when you put your lid back on, so the product won't dry out. And then put the lid on tight. And I'll set that to the side. I'm going to quickly wipe down my tools, and I have a little bag of, it's actually Windex, that I'm going to pop my stencil into so that that can get soaking and cleaning. I recommend cleaning, oh goodness gracious, cleaning your stencils pretty quickly after use. So whether you put them in a bubble bath, I have a little, sometimes a little bowl next to me with just some like Dawn dish soap in. But this time I have just a plastic baggie of Windex that I'm going to put my, not full of Windex, I'll show you my kind of rigged setup here. It's just a little bit of Windex, and then I just lay that flat and let that stencil soak a little bit. The Windex will clean and it doesn't harm your stencils. I'll wipe down my work surface. Oh, I'm sorry, my camera just said the live was interrupted, but it looks like it's going again, so that's good. Like I said, a storm is blowing through, so we'll quickly finish up this card and cross our fingers that I don't lose internet in the process. So just using a baby wipe to wipe off any of that glitter gel that may have been on my work surface. And now I'm going to bring out the Big Thanks cut and foil die set. So in this die set, you're going to get 3 pieces. There's your traditional word, and in this case I'm using the thanks, but there are other ones in the Trinity shop. So there's your thanks word, your shadow for the thanks word, and then there's also this third piece that will, you can use hot foil and like press the foil into your cardstock. I'm not using this piece today. I'm just going to use the traditional ones that you would use with a regular die cutting machine. I'm going to use some flock transfer sheets and just some regular plain old white cardstock for my background to make this kind of. I love having these shadow pieces because then you can really make the die cut piece pop. So for the shadow piece, I'm just going to cut from some white cardstock. Quickly run this through my die cutting machine. And now I have a nice white backer piece. Toss that away. I'm going to put this back into my pocket because if not, I will definitely lose that. And then for the actual thanks word, you're going to see that this layers right on top of that background piece. You can definitely cut that from some cardstock, but I always like to add a little bit of something to my cards. My cards are usually very clean, very simple. For those of you who don't know me, I am stay-at-home mom of a 5-year-old crazy boy child. So my crafting time is usually at night. And by the end of the night, I am a little bit tired. So I tend to gravitate towards clean and simple cards, but I like to add something on my cards that's going to give the recipient kind of that wow factor. So in this case, my background really is very simple. It's just a little bit of stenciling with the lemon and leaf stencil set, but adding that quick step with that glitter gel, that glitz glitter gel is a very easy way to add something fun and fancy to the card without adding a lot of time. And then using flock or something like a gold holographic cardstock for the sentiment piece is another way to bring in something a little bit fancy to dress up a really simple card. So here are my two pieces. This is cut from flock, so it has that fuzzy texture. And then I'm going to glue this right onto that background piece. And the background piece you don't have to use. I like to use it because it gives a little bit of a break to the eye so that you can definitely see the actual thanks word a little bit better. If you ever find that your die cut sentiments are blending into your background, the background or the backer dies like these, the shadow dies, definitely come into play there. So I'm going to use my liquid adhesive and I'm just adding little dots of glue behind that die cut thanks. And then I will pop this on and just, I like to start at the edge and just kind of layer this in, following the outline of where the word looks like it should go. And thankfully this glue dries fairly quickly. I got my tea a little wonky. There we go. Push that guy back into place and then give him a press down. I still have some glitz glitter gel somewhere on my fingers. That happens all the time. Okay, so all that's left to do then, I like to add a little bit of foam behind my sentiment just to kind of raise that up a little bit. So I'm going to grab my roll of foam tape and my scissors. My goodness. Speaking of children, I think mine took my scissors. Oh no. Well, I like to use non-stick scissors. I think I have a pair. I do. I have one more pair. And then I'm going to grab just my foam tape roll. It's a big old roll, which is good for me. I'll never run out. And then I'm just going to add some right across here. And just fill in. I don't want my die cut to collapse. I'm one of those people that I will go crazy with the foam adhesive just to make sure that my card doesn't fall apart. So this is probably the most tedious part of the card, is filling in all the spots with the foam adhesive. But this is the end of the card once I pop this on. So that's really not bad. I mean, I created this whole card in 20 minutes. The glitz glitter gel won't be completely dry, but in about 15 minutes it will be. So if you ever need a quick, bright, and happy thank you card in virtually no time at all. I mean, if I can create a card in less than 30 minutes, that's a a win-win for me. I'll go ahead and just peel off all of these backer pieces. And now the big one. And then I'm going to put this right across the center of my card. Right about there, I think. The good thing about the Glitz Glitter Gel being a bit wet still is that I can kind of squish my thanks around a little bit. I'll press that down, and that's not going anywhere. So that is my card today. Really easy, really simple, and remember that you can mix up the colors. I made this one with the like kind of a more green leaf, still sticking with the brown branches, but I mixed together some aqua and some gold Glitz Glitter Gel, and then I switched up and I did Teal Waters Flock here. So go crazy with your colors. This is definitely not how a lemon looks, but I think it's fun. I think it's really cute and exciting. I love this Lemon and Leaves stencil set. It's a layering stencil set, and I absolutely love it. So that's it for me for you guys. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. And if not, I am back here again live. I think it will be, oh my goodness, we're at the end of July. So August 13th is the next time I will be live. It's a special day. Usually I go live on Thursdays, but it will be a Friday. Oh goodness, Friday the 13th. We'll be back, and I hope that you will all be here with me. Thank you guys to everybody who is here watching. I will see you guys again in another video. Bye, you guys. Hi again, everyone. Thanks so much for watching this replay of the live video from the Trinity Stamps Facebook page. Coming up on the screen are 2 videos that I thought you would like. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.